Today I want to answer a few questions from my day to day as a software engineer. Also, we're going to create a GitHub account because I mentioned that you need a GitHub repository, and it's good if you're learning how to code to get familiar with GitHub. If you already been programming in Java, C Sharp, Python, JavaScript, HTML, anything you're doing and you already know how to use it, it's cool. Other than that, if you're just learning how to program, especially this channel, I do a lot of stuff in Swift because that's how I started um, working in the industry as a software engineer. I used to be an iOS engineer. Now I am a cloud engineer. So let's get started with GitHub. Right, let's go to GitHub right there. So it's easy to create an account. You create a free account or you could use a paid account. Let's use a free account. Let's use some info. You could use your own email. Make sure it's a valid email. Welcome to GitHub. See, it's pretty simple. Yeah, this is my email. Then create a password. Let's create a password. You create a password that you could remember. And well, let's come. You could create a username. Let's say tech build dreams test. I already have one, so I'm just doing this for demo purposes. Would you like to receive product update? And no, I don't want it because they'll be sending. If you want to receive emails from GitHub for new features and things, then type Y for yes. Please solve the puzzle. Verify you. Okay. Okay. Create the account. Enter the code. Okay, let me check my email. No. 4. Could just me, depends on the team. You can say teacher or student. Let's go. Let's say teacher. See, it has a bunch of different features. Well, I'm just gonna this to collaborate coding. There's a lot that you could do, but let's do this and now continue for free. And that's why, like, if you're just doing it for yourself, yeah. Sorry. Once you get into like a company, they already have a GitHub repository, so they would just add you to their repository. A repository is just a place where the code lives. So like, I could just here like create. I could just name the repository. It's called YouTube tutorial. And what I will do, I could add. You see, if you want a public for anybody in the internet to access it, like when you use third-party libraries such as like Firebase or any other, those are public. But I want to keep it private because it's just for me. And even like if a lot of companies, if they don't have public code, it is private. You know, private within the organization that you're doing it. Yeah. Admin, yeah, I get. Yep, I don't have a template right now, but I could use. Let me see. Probably find Swift. You see, boom. For this the programming language that you're using. You see, there's so many different programming language. If you already using Java or JavaScript, whatever. Yeah. Okay, a license to other. You see, now a lot of like this depend the license that you have. You see a lot of them have the MIT license, but we have none right now. and it's optional, blah blah blah. Setting, yeah, this is the main branch. It works like branches, you know. So whenever you work on a new feature, you'll be creating new branches and things like that. But okay, why this is not letting me? It's not. No, it shouldn't be powered. This is good. This is optional. So YouTube. But why? Let me see. What am I missing? That is not letting me. Okay, now I don't want to have it. Oh yeah, because I was supposed to pick a license, but I don't have one. So choose none. And boom, my repository is created, but nothing is here. So now you could like add file, like upload a file. But we could do this using let me see if I have it. YouTube. GitHub desktop, yeah. Okay. If you don't have you could use GitHub. Oh. You could download GitHub desktop for Mac or for Windows if you have it, and it's gonna look like this once you add. But I already have it here. I could just remove this, and yeah, I don't want this.
From your calendar, Spring Udemy check-in starts in 15 minutes.
See, that's a reminder that I have. Okay, so GitHub desktop.
From your calendar, Spring Udemy check-in starts in 15 minutes.
You see, okay, this one that I have, but I could just sign out and sign in. I'm going to, if you, this is because I already have one, but if you, this is your first account, you just could do it. So I'll be like, what's the name that I gave my, okay, so Tech Build Dreams Test. Oh, okay, I'm getting an error. Let me see. Let me see now. This okay. I need to log out. Let me go to GitHub and log out of my other account. I'm going to sign in again and we're like test. Okay, now let me try to do it again. Because this, if you're ready, I mean, this is good. This is like you see, because I was working on something, so this is all the change. This is how you see the changes that you could send back. But yours shouldn't look like this because you don't have anything yet. So yeah, sign out, sign in using browser. And then it's gonna give you something like this to authorize. You click yeah, authorize, and then okay, let me see why this is not. Why so I shouldn't, okay. Okay, let me add, okay. This is still showing because I have a lot of different repositories, right? You see all those are different ones, and all that little lock mean that they're all private. These are things that I have worked on, but let's add an assistant one. Let's choose the path, which is the, yep, this for beginners, and this, let me see, yep. So I could, let me pick this. Would you like to create one instead? Yeah, create. You could name it whatever you want, so I'm gonna leave it like this, and you could just leave everything else that way. This is the license and all this stuff. If you wanna look for Swift, the code that we're using, right here. Or you could just leave it and it will automatically get it. But okay, create repository. Now you see it's right here, other, and boom. So you could just like publish repository. Once you publish it, leave it like this, right? And keep this code private. Boom, right? So now, okay, we could close this, but if we go here into, okay, let's go here. You see now we have, this is the one that we created manually, which is for nothing. Like, I'm just showing you how you could create it. Or you could, if you pick this name, instead of how, when you added a new one, you could have just added to this name, but I prefer to show you different ways. And boom, this is here, and then this all the code that we already have written before, you see. Now, you see, this is blank, and we have a master branch, but let's say we go here on repository, where is it, branch, new branch, let's go feature slash, this is not done how you should name the branch. You know, you could have bug, features, etc., etc. But let's create a branch. I was like features, which is when I'm adding something, and then you need to make sure the name is right, fiction, and I was like YouTube testing, I'm gonna call it, right? And then I'm gonna create a branch. So now I'm not on the master branch, because why? The master branch is if it's sometimes broken and you merge it to here, to the master branch, then it will be broken, right? A lot of time too, you see that you have a master and you have a develop branch, which is a good, because everything on develop is what you do to work on. So if I open Xcode, and yeah, I'm answering one of the questions that I had. People ask me a lot. What type of, is the question that I get a lot, like what type of application I work with, or I used to work with, and people sometimes think it's just shopping or social media. I mean, myself, I used to work on this six different applications for six different companies. But yeah, we have in-app shopping, and we have one that had a feed and everything. You see, this is what we should do. That one. So all the application it varies. All depends. So yeah, um, I wasn't working with like creating games or anything like that, but you could always create game. That's not too bad. Once you know how to program in Swift, you could do anything. And yes, another thing is every task I get assigned to is like by the team, right? And then we talk about it, and they ask me, okay, how long would it take me to do this and that? And it depends too, because sometimes okay, it take me a couple of hours, it'll take me a day or two, depends. But sometimes you say, oh, this might take me an hour or two, and then end up taking me a day or more, and sometimes less than an hour. It all depends. And yeah, it is, being a software engineer is fun, but it could become very stressful because you could jump into a lot of different tasks. Like I said, like, oh, one could take me an hour or two, and then boom, it takes me like a whole day or 2 3 days, even a week, because things could get very complex, especially when you have a thousands and thousands of line of code and things happening simultaneously at the same time. So if you guys been following me and my YouTube for beginners, this is what we worked on, right? So let's check this out. Let's change something. Okay, let's run this. While this runs, so let me. Mm, so a lot of people think like, oh, like being, I think being a software engineer is just like any other job. He has his cool days. He has his day that you get very frustrated. But if you love what you're doing, you'll find, and especially if you're a problem solver, you like really, really enjoy the challenges. It'll be stressful, but you enjoy because you want to figure it out. And people think that to be a programmer, you have to be like a genius in math. No, but it's good. The more math you have, the better it is, because you think differently to solve different problems, doing different calculations, especially like when doing algorithms, right? So you want to calculate, you want things to happen fast, because you don't want people to spend like minutes like waiting for something to load because your algorithm is super slow. But you all that, you just keep getting better at it. The more practice you're doing, the more you're doing, the more you're doing. There's no like, but you don't have to be a genius in math. You just know know the basics is good, and the better you are at math, the better programmer you could become. But you don't really need to be like an Einstein, like to know how to program. It just little by little you get there, and especially once you be programming for a while, you learn more stuff, and you get into like you want to keep learning. It's like being a doctor. A doctor always reading new things, learning new things, and you're just learning new techniques. So yeah, this is the app right now, and this is the feed. So what's the username for one? Let me see. Let's change a username. Let's change what's Shandar. Oh, those are the stories. This is the post name. Blah blah blah. Or the user. So let me see. What should I change that? We have cool avatar thing. Is to say cool avatar one and cool avatar. Let's add it to this one, right? So I think this one should change to cool avatar too. So let's see. Oh, it's gonna be too a little weird. I don't know how you could call that a. Oh, you just have an exclamation. Mm-hmm. The username didn't change, right? Did it? Cool avatar, cool avatar. And this is in the feed. Right, we change. Oh, cool female avatar and okay. Oh, another thing, you see this? You know why this happened now? It didn't happen before because boom, you can see here the change that I did. Right? The red is what is to be old, and the green one is what is new. See right here? But I want to see why. It's in the feed, but it didn't change the name. Blah blah blah. Weird. Let's change use to tutorial. We get GitHub tutorial. Let's call it YT. I don't want to get into debugging why this is not working, but you see, I make that change, right? And once you like do Command S or your save or whatever, it shows here too. You see, that this changed. But now, if let's go, we go to the profile, and then we change anything, even like space, right? If you add a space, and the cool things here, you see you could see the class name. You see, blah blah blah, the path. Boom, I added a space, right? So if I remove the space, see, boom. Even if you delete it, boom. Even if you delete like anything, this is good because it's a code tracking. Even like if you remove all the space and you have it like this, you'll show it like this, right? You see, boom. And when I and if you go back, you go back. So if you sometimes make changes and you don't need it, you could check here. And then a commit always needs like a title, right? So you could just be like change, what is it, feed navigation, right? Title. So you know what happened. So you commit it, right? Boom. Once you commit it, it could be right here. Like if you want to undo it, or like, oh my god, you did something by mistake, or you forgot to add anything or change anything, you can do it. But once you commit it, and then once you public the branch, let's see what happened, right? Where's right here? You see, it tells you right here, hey, had a new branch push, and right here you can see like we'll have one branch, master, and then we have this right now. So that's what happens, and then you come here, and then that's when you really create like a PR or something like that. So here you could leave comments like this is testing tutorial, and then basically once you create a PR, which is mean pull request, right? You heard say code a pull request. Here you could add people to review your code in your organization, but right here if you click like file change, you could see what changed, right? Boom, and you could tell right here, like even if you're doing a code review, but like, hey, this shouldn't be here, right? So we should fix it. So I could come back here after you seen this was part of the feed. It's not even blue anymore because you already pushed the changes to GitHub at once, like right? If I delete it, right? Let's say yeah, and boom, because this is the new change. So now if you come back to where is it? Okay. GitHub desktop. You see the change now is that we deleting this and we're like fix, you say fix typo, right? And then you commit it and then you just click here to push the changes or push to origin, and then it's gonna push the changes to here. So here now, instead of one commit, you see it tells you right there refresh because something change. So now instead of having one commit, we have two. You see 1, 2. So when you check what happened, the changes, boom, once you refresh, you see things went back to normal, and this is the only thing that changes because you fixed the typo. And if you wanna, once you do all the changes and everything is all said and done, you create the PR, you could just merge, right? Merge the changes, and then you could just delete that branch, right? So that branch won't appear anymore, but everything will be on your master. Everything right here, this branch is still locally good, but everything, all your changes are here in the master. So if you check the history, you see, hey, we have all this, which was the initial commit, everything when everything was added, right? So, and that's how it is. So yeah, so something that I always like to do, let's create a branch call, right? Develop. We never ever delete develop, and develop comes from the branch, from the master branch. It's always good to have a develop and a master, because everything you do in develop, when everything is working good, let's say you created this whole new feed feature, right? You create this whole, everything's working great and it's ready to push out the release so people could have it. So you could always merge develop into master. So that way you could just have a good copy. If something goes wrong, somebody comes, or even yourself breaks something, you could always go back. Also, you could always undo like commits that you do. Like if you wanna undo something, see, go here. You can just clone it, or I needed another branch. But I'll probably do another tutorial on that because I don't want to get into like a lot of technical stuff. Plus, I could tell you all this and boom, you probably won't remember. Happens to me, happens to everybody. Just remember this. If you commit something into your master branch, into your develop branch, or you commit anything by mistake, you could always undo that commit. You could undo, you could do rebase. Let's say you wanted to create something out of this branch, no, out of develop. You could rebase it, but always try to make sure that you are on develop, and from develop go and create any branch like from develop, right? Make sure that always you choose here from develop, and just call another branch. You call your branch like YouTube, and that's it. But most of the time I like to call it like feature, because if I'm working on any feature, then I'll be like feature, then slash, then we're like whatever. So I know, so I have an idea what I'm working with. And you see like how this is the default branch. If we go into where is it, GitHub, where you at okay, let me try that. Okay, if you go on GitHub, right, and there's something I always like to do. All the settings right here. Here tells you to, you see one commit, one blah blah, right? This is like all your history, everything you do. But let me go to here, then go to settings, and then you see you upload social images, but it will not be visible publicly. Well, blah blah blah. It's private. Okay, cool. Then I come to branches, and then you could say that default branch instead of like no, this is to rename it, and then switch to another branch, right? Then you get to develop, right? You click right here and you get it to develop, and then you update, and then yes, I understand that I want develop to be. Why? Because whenever now, let's say if we go into where's GitHub? Okay, right? So now, okay, so let's click. Mhm. Let's go to develop, right? If you really close this and come back, it should have develop as master branch. But let's say if you want to create another branch, I think that you'll still have that. So where's my, oh, right here. Let me quit it. Boom, let me try to open it again and see what happens. Still say that, but it probably update too after a while. But yeah, but you should always try to work from develop, create your branch from develop, and that this should be updated. But sometimes it takes a while. So I hope this video helped you out. I hope um, you find some value. If you did, like, subscribe, share it, and if you have any questions, send it to me any of my social media, Shende Ramos, or just leave the comments below, and I'll try my best to help you out. If I have to create another video, or if you want me to create a live video and help you out step by step and guide you, just let me know. I'm just here to add value to you because I'm just trying to show you the things that I struggle with a lot. And it's super important that you learn how to use GitHub. I had a hard time when I got my first employee, and I felt in a way very dumb because I didn't know how to use this, and everybody else in the company, so I had to kind of be asking people to help me out every time, which it was great. I work with great people, and it helped me super super. But if you know how to do this, it'll give you an advantage to find a job. Um, and most programmer knows already how to use this, so don't stay behind. Stay up to date. I try to in this channel I want to give you everything, all the mistakes that I did, all the things that I learned throughout the way, so you could learn and find your junior developer job, software engineer job, and start your career as a software developer. All right. See you next time.